Social media is not going anywhere. Video is not going anywhere. Creating content where you are the content is not going anywhere. And it feels like a heavy expectation for many people to be building a business and a personal brand, and they're not even really sure where to start.
What are you seeing agents doing right now that just keep them stuck? And like, how do they get out of that? I am so excited for this episode. We have the one and only Chelsea Peitz in the studio getting ready to talk, because it has just been announced, Chelsea, that Chelsea is going to be doing our agent breakthrough starting in July. Chelsea, welcome to the pod. So good to see you. And for those who may be watching this and don't know who you are, tell a little bit about your background.
Yeah, it's a great way to start my weekend, to be able to be here with you, because it's been so long since we've been able to be live, because we see each other on the socials. So I'm excited to be an agent breakthrough. And for those of you who are listening or watching this and don't know who I am, I'm Chelsea Peitz. My last name rhymes with lights. Now you won't forget it. Once upon a time, I was a full-time real estate human being. I got my license in 2001 BF, and the BF is for before Facebook. So I am a proud Gen Xer who did not grow up with social media, and honestly has mixed feelings about the idea of creating content with yourself in it. And my specialty is focusing on the neuroscience and the psychology of how people build trust online, and also the very vulnerable experience that social media can be for many of us who are feeling like we're forced to use it, or resentful that we have to be a full-time content creator in 2026 and a real estate human second. So a social media therapist, if you will.
And I think you do a very good job of it. You are also, I know you're being a little bit humble, you're also a 3-time author. Right. And so book number 1 was probably when we first started getting connected, 2015-ish, Talking in Pictures. Right. And then book number 2, my favorite, was What to Post. And it's my favorite because I'm in it. And so I think it was probably 2019, correct me if I'm wrong-ish.
Right. 2018,
like
I think.
Yeah. And then now book number 3 is out and about. Talk to us about book number 3.
Yeah, book number 3 is my third and final book. I'm not going to do any more because it's a process. If anybody has ever thought about writing a book, I highly recommend you do it. And it is quite a journey to go through. So this book is called Uncopyable: How to Build a Personal Brand That People Trust on Social Media. It's a different perspective or lens through social media. Yes, there is some how-to, there is tactical, but it's really a book about giving people permission who think differently, which I always did. Even as a kid, I got in trouble in school for doing things the wrong way, and I didn't realize there was a right way or a wrong way to do something. And that's always been my theme. And for a long time, I thought there is something wrong with me, that I can't do other things that seem like it's so easy for everyone else. And so this is the permission slip to help people who've tried all the things, who honestly have come to grips that in 2026, social media is not going anywhere. Video is not going anywhere. Creating content where you are the content is not going anywhere. And it feels like a heavy expectation for many people to be building a business and a personal brand, and they're not even really sure where to start. And they maybe don't want to do it like everybody else says they quote unquote should. So that's what the book's going to be about.
I'm so excited for this one. I mean, obviously this is like very timely in a day and age where you can go on an AI agent and like literally just ask it for a Facebook caption or some sort of thing. And what they're doing is they're going to learn from other Facebook captions and other things. And so like your content just sounds the same all the time. And so like this is so timely, not just in a copy paste world, but in a AI world, to be able to find your own voice and like speak for yourself a little bit. So this is not only timely, but you wrote it. So I'm very excited for it. You've worked with thousands of agents, right? Over the course of, I don't know, a decade or more, through finding their voice, social media, video marketing. What's one thing that agents do that are doing right now to like, what are they stuck in? Like, right? What are you seeing agents doing right now that just keep them stuck? And like, how do they get out of that?
Yeah. And this is the hard part, the part that a lot of social media experts don't talk about. It's really we get stuck in our own limiting beliefs, and that's a hard one to overcome. And that's why people have called me a social media therapist. And I don't call myself that, but I'm really, really honored that people feel that about me, because I do really give permission. And there's, no shame in that human experience of the fear of being seen. The fear of being seen is real. The fear fear of being the expert or not being expert enough, those are very real, everyday human things that we feel. And we often say, oh, I don't have time for social media, or I don't really want to make it another full-time job. I don't want to become an annoying oversharer. I've tried everything. I have been posting for years and I haven't really seen any business from it. So we tell ourselves that that's a reason why that we don't really want to embrace social media. But ultimately, the thing that keeps us the most stuck is that vulnerability that so many of us feel when we're creating something in here and giving it to out here for the world to potentially comment on, to consume, to potentially share without our knowing or with our knowing. And there's a lot of feelings and emotions that happen. And I'm not one of those people that one can click on my camera and talk to it like a friend and make it so easy and not re-record things and just post it out to the world and not care what anybody says. I'm also a recovering overthinker and a sensitive, and that has been a challenge for me. So I think that's why I'm uniquely positioned to talk about it. But I think what the most feedback I get from people is when I talk to them about there are other ways that you can utilize social media that isn't a template. There are so many things you can do other than what this person says X, Y, and Z, or the 31-point checklist. So giving people options that allows them to pick and choose and feel empowered to say, that's something that feels approachable to me. That's something that feels aligned for me. And nobody else has talked about it in the way that it's a communication tool, not just a content machine. So that's really where I think people are stuck, is feeling like there's only one way to do something. There's a quote unquote right way and a wrong way. And that they're stuck in this feeling they can't really name because it should be easy for them. They do know what they're talking about. You're really good at your job. You're excellent at communicating with clients, something so niche and complex, and you don't even think twice about it. But there is really something that happens internally when we sit down to create something and try to compress all of your knowledge and expertise into a 1-minute video and then share it out to the world.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, because you watch some of the biggest content creators and maybe they have a template or they do something the same way and then it gets a lot of views. And so you think you have to do that too. And that's not the case. Mm-hmm. That's not the case one bit. I have a question for you. What would you say is the number one opportunity that agents have right now in 2026? Whether it be a new platform or just doubling down on a current platform, what is the number one opportunity that an agent listening to this right now can take advantage of in 2026?
Yeah, I think the number one advantage, the personal brands that succeed from here on out are people that can create content that can make a stranger feel like they already know them just a little bit. And what I've learned is the more that I do social media, the more I realize it's not about understanding a platform, it's about understanding people. And that's why I always bring it back to we're the same brain offline and the same brain online, but we end up going online because we don't believe social media is real and doing a whole bunch of weird stuff that we would never do offline. And then we get frustrated because it's not working like it should be for someone else, or we treat it like a numbers game. And there are a lot of elements of how we build trust that need to be met in a specific order, like we do in the real world, that often get skipped in the digital world. So I think that the biggest opportunity there is to create something with their personal brand, which is just very simply 3 things. And the good news is nothing has changed. It's whether you were sharing these things at the BNI meeting 20 years ago, you're sharing them online, nothing has changed. It's truly, are you including your person, your personality, and your perspective? That's the only way to make original content anyway. For all the people that are creating content about real estate, there's nothing new that somebody hasn't come across or said. So leaning into, are you in your content? And are you able to showcase a bit of that personality and that perspective, which is your lived experience, your opinions, your analysis, your once upon a time I had a client who, or how I did something and how I got here. Those are really the powerful moments where people lean in, because that's how we connect with people in real life. And it's not a PowerPoint presentation or somebody with the greatest stats or the facts or something really like, wow, that's amazing and entertaining. We sit across the people that we care about at a dinner table and we talk about the mundane things that happen in our lives. And we also share from that perspective of like, here's who I am. So I think that's something that, creating content that somebody could find, because they will. We're in a world now where we're not connection based, it's recommendation based. And that means you're seeing a lot of strangers in your feed. And that means an opportunity for you to be able to seen by people that don't know you, haven't met you. And there is a possibility through your content that they could feel like they could understand what it might be like to work with you.
Yeah, that's so good. There's so many, look, there's 1.2 million realtors in the nation. We all have the same MLS access. We all have the same housing data, but only you have the story about Mike and Christine who moved from Boise because their son plays travel baseball, and how you helped them win the house because of an escalation clause because you knew the agent on the other side because you went to a BNI together and you golfed, and right, only you have that. And so being able to tap into that versus here's interest rate update and here's the inventory level, we all have that. Stick to the stuff that makes you you, the stories that make your clients, and what it is that you do differently and unique. That's going to hit a lot better on social specifically, but just in general too, right? Like nobody wants to sit around the Thanksgiving dinner table talking about inventory levels, but they will share the story about how you helped them win the house, and it's their first time homeowner now, and the first of their generation to own a home, right? The stories that go with it. That's so good. Okay, so agent breakthrough. You may be listening to this pod after we've already done Agent Breakthrough, but Agent Breakthrough is a series that we run here at Real. Chelsea, you're going to be hosting our next session, which is a 4-week session. For agents who are listening, what do they have to look forward to at Agent Breakthrough coming up? So if you're listening to it after and you're with Real, you can go back into the vault and you can watch that type of stuff too. But if you're listening to this now or before and you're thinking about joining in, what do they have to look forward to?
We're going to be deep diving into the stuff that a lot of social media people don't talk about, but you really need to hear. And that's not just the hooks and the templates and the tips. Yes, we will go over that. But what we're really going to talk about is the science of how we build trust through a screen, and the fact that we are never going back. You and I are on a screen right now having a real human live interaction. And for the rest of our business lives, we're going to be using some form of digital virtual video content to be connecting and sharing and scaling our message. And so how do we actually build trust and accelerate that trust online? And so that's the first section we're going to talk about. We're going to be moving in deeply into content that connects and converts, because 99% of the people that I coach, I look at their content and know instantaneously why it's not working and why they're frustrated. And I'm going to give the simplest 3-step framework that anyone can implement immediately. And there's going to be so many aha moments where people say, oh my goodness, I know exactly what's happening, because it's not your message, it's not your content, it's not your delivery, it's imbalance. And so I'm going to give you the exact strategy that I use. And we're also going to talk a little bit more confident on video, and how to make videos where you feel prepared but not overthinking, and you feel more like you. And also for the people who are like, I know I have to get on video, but I just can't quite talk to the camera yet. That's okay. I've got you. I've got 5 other things that you can do that are going to help you build that confidence and that habit of being on camera.
I love it. I'm so excited to have you as our Agent Breakthrough host. I think all of our agents, even the ones who do social at a high level, have something to take away from this, because it's 2026. Stuff changes, especially in the social media world, is that there's stuff is like the algorithms are always changing. And so learning what's working right now for agents, you're in the trenches, you're coaching these agents on social media all day, every day. So learning what's happening right now is going to be really impactful for all of our agents, whether you're the brand new agent trying to figure out social media and video marketing, or the seasoned agent, the Katie Days and Matt Leonettis of the world who have been doing this for a decade at a very high level. There's something for everybody. And so I'm really excited that you're the one who's going to be presenting this information. We're very lucky to have you. And thank you for taking the time out of today to do this pod. And I'm so happy that we are connected again and getting to talk. And congratulations on book number 3. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.